from the command center, JW Solar USA. Guys, someone remember my anniversary here or a celebration and being thankful and grateful to the channel. This subscriber found me on YouTube years ago and he has been following me for so long, and he's a very good person to me. We talk a lot of time, exchanging ideas. He got a nice solar system, 48 volts. He got a lot of batteries. He got a nice property somewhere, but he doesn't just want to be on YouTube anyway. But anyway, he just recognized that he wants to be grateful by sending us this inverter right here. It's a 48 volt, 1000 watts, a kilowatt inverter. No, not 48 volt, 36 volt. Excuse me, 36 volt. But for congratulating me for my 10,000 subscribers. You guys forgot about me? Oh my God, you guys are grateful. I don't forget about you guys. I'm always thankful and grateful for you guys being part of my channel, and I'm always happy because I have you guys as a family. But someone surprised me. This is JW Solar USA talking. All right? And someone remind me, and someone surprised me with something like this. He did the best. He said, I got you a 36 volt inverter, 1000 watts. He said, you might make a videos about this for other people because you've been talking about 12 volt, 24, 48, and we deal with 60 volt as well. But you talk about 36 volts with your Outback, and you never make videos. Now I'm giving you project to do so you can put more videos on the channel. I was like, oh my God. I can't believe this. I was driving to Minneapolis and to pick up some stuff for the channel, and he called me. I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm driving right now. I said, we'll talk later. And all of a sudden he mailed it to me. I just got it, and he gave me the tracking number. I said, I want you to do videos and show other people. So this one, what it came with, small wires here. I don't know what gauge is this. Okay, 450 volts / 750. This is a 10 millimeter square. All right, whatever it is, I think this is about 10 gauge, and I think so. I don't think this is 6. So around 6 gauge, 6 gauge wire. I wish they can indicate that the American way, but this is like I said, is a 10 millimeter. And it's a Chinese writing on it, or whatever it is. Yeah, but anyway, so these are the wires. I think it's a foot long, I suppose, foot long, positive and negative. Then let's set it on the corner right here, and let's take this inverter and see what it is. It's a little guy, but let's see what it came with here. I'm so thrilled about this. I like to give gifts to people, but someone surprised me with a gift. Most of them were like, no, I'm alright. But look, this is what it is. What's the name? XYZINVT, whatever it is. You see, this is what I don't understand about the Chinese. The Chinese, when they make things, I think they're supposed... I'm not trying to criticize you, buddy, but the Chinese trying to make things very difficult for the marketing. If you make something like this, you don't make it for your country. You have to make it for everybody to understand. Or if it's a Peter, call it Peter. If it's Mark, call it Mark. Or if it's John, call it John. It's easy. Or just say so inverter. If it says so, but XYZINVT. How do you pronounce this? I don't have no idea. If you know how to pronounce this, let me know. But this is really ridiculous. You can't be self-centered think about yourself. You have to think about you dealing with international, the world. Deal with that. Make sure you set your names right, and before you make things. But XYZINVT, how do you pronounce that? No idea. Well, let's move on. It's a pure sine wave, DC to AC. Okay, what is this? The CEFCC ROC. I think this is a certification, like a UL listed or whatever it is. So it has a heat sink here, and this is what it is. Okay, I don't know the glare from the lights, and there we are. So read that. It says 36 volts. 36 volts right in the corner right here. 36 volts and 120 volts. And it's a 60 hertz. They marked out with a marker. They don't even have a thing that they can even type or print it like a label that's gonna be, you know, put a check marks onto it. It's just a marker. All right, so this tells you how Chinese does things. So I really appreciate that, my friend. And this is from Al from West Virginia. Al James, check on his channel. You got a few things there with his drone things, and these are the terminals right here, and 2 fans. And let's see, this is the front part of it. Then let's take this thing out. I really appreciate your generosity, my friend. You've done awesome or amazing stuff for the channel. So we have a voltmeter or display meter right here, 2 outlets. And this side is going to be reading the voltage for the battery, I suppose, and this one probably the AC side. And I've never dealt with any of these inverters before, but this is what it is. I think this is going to be the AC side, and this is the DC side, I suppose. So we got to test it and see what it is, how all these things work. But XYZIN ZINVT, whatever it is. If you know how to pronounce that well, let me know. Maybe I'll learn or make a video. If you have something of this, then tell me how this inverter works. But these are 36 volts, and it came with a manual and a bunch of fuses. Let's see. XYZINVT. JW Solar is having a kick out of this. Yeah, it's interesting how the Chinese is marketing their stuff. Yeah, we in the US, we don't do stuff like this, you know. If it's John, call it John. If it's boy, call it boy. I don't know. Well, this is the manual right here. Just about 6 leaflets. And so it says 10 millimeter right here. For this can carry up to about 3,000 watts. 10 millimeter is a AWG7. So I think for them, I think it's a G7. I don't know if it's a 7 gauge, what it is. So they say 16 millimeter can go up to about 6,000 to 10,000 watts. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, like I said, the big display here is for the AC part right here. This tells you the AC output, the voltmeter, it reads on it. And the small side is for the battery here, the small display. So it shows a diagram how you connect this thing right here, the battery, the inverter, and the load equipment right there. And I don't think this is hard for us to deal with here. This is just a junior. It's not even in the mid-grade or intermediate. We know how to fix this, right? You guys are really smart guys I have on my channel. Awesome people. Thanks, Al. Thank you so much, Alan James. Thank you so much. God bless you, brother, for thinking about us. But I'm having a kick out of this with the Chinese stuff. It's really cool. But we can put it to test. Maybe sometimes some of this stuff works. There's other specifications on different things. Yeah. Not all the Chinese stuff are bad. They're just the quality. If you want to buy things and keep buying them all the time, when they broke, well, buy the Chinese stuff because you keep replacing it all the time. You know, I can take Taiwanese and I'll take that instead of Chinese stuff. Understand? Bunch of copycats. But this is awesome. This is interesting. And thanks for watching. And we were trying to put this guy to work. And let's save this for the last. There you go. That's the terminal when you put the wires into this. Go into that one. Let's just take this away, and so that we'll do some kind of quick connection here to show just the beginners or the newcomers how you connect an inverter. Stay tuned for the video. We go this and connect this guy right here, and let's pop this. It came with extra fuse and washers. So this fuse here, these are 20 amp fuse. I don't know if you can read it. It glares too much. So they're all 20 amp fuses. The fuse is yellow and the writing is kind of right. There you go. I got it. See that? 20 amp. So I have 4 of them. That really tells us now this thing, the fuse can burn anytime. So they give you 4 extra, so you can able to move on with your life. Or these are blade fuse. You can buy them at the automotive store, car store, car parts or whatever. You can get them from your car. If something blow up, yeah, you can borrow from your car and replace it right away, something like that. So let's see. Let's get this. For new beginners or newcomers, they gave us 4 washers. I don't know why, because you can't put a washer behind the terminal here and put the wire like this. No, there's not supposed to be any washer back here. It's supposed to be a direct contact. Okay, you have to have a proper contact. If you don't have to put a washer back here and put this one. No, that's not advisable. So you have to have the conductor, you have the washer. It's supposed to be a lock nut, but there is no lock nut here. Then we can go about that. But transfer this wire right here to the black. Pardon me, I'm just having a kick out of this. So, and we have this washer and this wire, and goes to here. I only use one of the washers because I don't have to double them. If I double them, trust me, we're not gonna have a room to screw this this guy right here. Okay, see, so right now we already are, the conductors already here, and this one we can take now and have them to one of these guys go to your disconnect. You know, if you have a disconnect, put this on your disconnect. From the disconnect, it goes to the battery, because the breaker, speaking about that, let me get you something here. Let me show you. We have two type of breakers or disconnect. This is a disconnect, and this is a AC disconnect. Okay, it's a 32 amp double pole. This is a single one, like a marine boat, whatever. So this is what I'm talking about. If you have this guy here, so the red wire goes to the disconnect all the time. So we can have one wire that goes here, but this is not the right terminal for it. I'm gonna change these wires. I'm not gonna use these wires. Get this wire because these are cheap wires. They're underrated. And I can get it to this guy, and the other one goes to the battery. So if you get one here, one goes to the battery, and let's say, assume now we already flipped it over, it's gonna be like this, and the battery cable comes here to feed this other one from the batteries. So here, other cable comes here from the batteries. We get like an inline fuse or breaker or whatever. It comes here, the fuse, it comes to here. So this is just to cut the power, to turn this inverter on and off, which you already have a disconnect from your battery terminal itself, battery box, or your main battery. But you have to have a disconnect to isolate this guy here from any disaster. So this other guy right here, this is the AC breaker. So the AC breaker, if you flip this round, and the outputs from here, they already have a switch right here to on and off switch for you. But these ones are flimsy. You don't want to depend on this one. They're not reliable in the sense it's just a little wire, like a 22 or a 24 or 16 or 24 gauge wire that is connected to this little stuff right here. So this guy, if you want to wire it to a breaker panel, you can take the output from here, because this is not a hot wired inverter, but you can take the wire from these, the plug. You can build a plug with a 8 gauge or 10 gauge whatever cable, or 12 gauge. Then you can bring it from out. Now it's gonna come to this guy here. So this guy is the one that's gonna control the on and off position that sends the power to the loads. Okay, if something happened, you can cut this thing. This thing can be far away from this inverter, can be not in the same room if it travels a long distance, and this inverter can be in a isolated place, and this guy is the one that's gonna turn the load on and off into a breaker panel or breaker box or whatever that feeds the loads. So you can able to read this side is the AC, and this guy here is the DC. So I just want to do, we already did we've done a quick installation right here with all this demonstration, and we just had and showing you guys what we got here to install this guy. I'm gonna change those wires as well. 1000 watts. I'm not gonna use that little wire. I'd rather use a 2 gauge or whatever it is, you know, just to be on the safe side. But I would like to do that. I don't mind using number 6. I can use that, or number 4. Sorry, number 4. Number 4 is adequate for that. Number 4 can do that. So 36 volts. It's not a 12 volt. It's not a 24 volts. It's a 36 volts. I understand the higher the voltage, the wires become smaller, but to make this really nice and sweet for safety, where everything is coming to power, I'll beef up the wire. All right, I'll beef up the wire and get my proper fusing or breaker into that. Fuse and break. And the output here, if I connect it to a breaker panel or where I can do a distribution center, that's how we're going to do it. Like and subscribe. JW Solar USA.